Hi y'all, come on up. It's Porch Settin Sunday, so come on into my porch and have a sit down. I hope you got your drink. I brought out ice water today because it is hot here. But I wanted to do Porch Settin Sunday with you, so doesn't matter to me how hot it is. Okay, so I want to thank you all for coming along and sticking that thumb up in the air. So I hope you'll come back and talk to me and leave comments and everything. So let's get into it. Let's do the outfit that I'm wearing today. I'll show you that. Let me turn my camera around. I'll put it right back here and hopefully you can see my outfit. I'm wearing a skirt, and because I don't want to give up summer yet, I'm wearing these shoes. Somebody left a comment that they couldn't see my shoes last time, so I'll show you the shoes I'm wearing. My husband bought me these. He buys all my clothes, actually. He picks them all out. He always... And this is my outfit. This is a green top, just like the one that I was wearing last week, only the one I was wearing last week didn't have this type of sleeve. Didn't have the ruching. Okay, let's get into our story. I'm glad you're here. Let me turn this camera around. Y'all come in close now, so you can hear me, so I don't have to let all the neighbors know our business. This is our business, and we don't talk loud enough to the neighbors can hear. Okay, so I wanted to tell you a story. The story today is the first story. I'm going to tell you two, because I'm going to give you a cliffhanger on the last one. But the first one is when me and my husband was dating, and he drove... It was the one he drove was a 62 red Chevy car. It was beautiful. He had it when we were when I met him. So he always provided the ride, and I provided the gas, because I done babysitting jobs and stuff. Whew, I might have to get out of the sun, girls. It's really hot today. Okay, then he decided, I think he doesn't remember this, but he wrecked the red Chevy too. And he had a 1964 Ford Galaxy convertible that he had put in his brother's field because it had quit running, and he was going to overhaul the motor. So it was a beautiful black car. Beautiful. We were still dating now. He was teaching me how to drive. And I was only 14 when we first started dating. And so he was teaching me to drive. Well, his friend had gotten, for graduation, that lived in West Virginia, he had gotten a truck for graduation. Beautiful, beautiful step-side truck. Don't remember what kind it was, but anyway, we had taken it to the field to pull the car out of the field with, because the motor didn't run. So we had brought it out of anyway, it was in the field, and we had took the truck out to pull the car out. Well, they wanted me to take the truck after we got in the field. They wanted me to drive the truck around and bring it in front of the truck, or the Galaxy, the convertible car that my husband, boyfriend at the time, had in the field. Well, I couldn't drive a stick, and that's what this was. It was a standard, and I couldn't drive a standard. I could barely drive an automatic, let alone drive a standard. But they was sure I could do it. I knew what I was doing. Well, they didn't know that I didn't know that you had to push the clutch before you pushed the brake. So I was coming around that field, and I was making my big circle so that I could pull in front of that convertible, beautiful convertible black car. Oh, it was gorgeous. So I was coming around making my circle, and they kept saying, put on the brake, put on the brake, put on the brake. I kept pushing the brake, pushing the brake, pushing the brake. Couldn't get the brake to I wasn't stopping. I was still going. They said, let off the gas. I'd already let off the gas. But the brake wouldn't stop it. I didn't know you had to push the clutch for the brake to work. I thought it was like an automatic. Push the brake and you stop. I smashed right into the side of that beautiful black car. And I smashed the whole side of it. My boyfriend, which is my husband now, said, leave her parked, boys. She ain't worth fixing now. I mean, he would have killed me now, but when he was dating me, not so much. So, but anyway, that's my story for today. The first one, that's when we was dating. Now, when we was a little girl, or when I was a little girl, and we would travel to Kentucky, that's where my mother was from, and we would travel there, and this is when I was real little. I can remember this always going. Dad always wanted to go at night. He loved to drive after dark, so when he got off work on Friday, before the week of vacation, Mom always had everything packed up. Us kids was ready to go. Everybody was fed and ready to go. We all piled in the car. All the windows came down, and off we went toward Kentucky. My mom is from Paintsville, Kentucky, originally. She grew up there and moved to Ohio when she was in her 20s, I know. Early, probably moved to Ohio as a teenager. And because she met my dad, my stepdad, when she was still pregnant with me and she was 24. So that tells you how young she was when she moved to Ohio. Why she went, I have no clue. But anyway, we always headed toward Kentucky, and we always went to my Aunt Opal's, which was my mom's oldest sisters. That's who we stayed with, and then we went around visiting all the rest. So we would start out on Friday night, the week before vacation, and we'd all pile in that car. I had one brother and two sisters, and I always was really, and still am very close to my oldest sister. And I always sat next to her. And Dad liked to travel at night because it was cooler. And he liked to travel because he knew us kids was going to sleep and we wasn't going to be picking on one another and fighting. Now, me and my sister, my oldest sister, never fought the first time. We never got into arguments. We never fought. Nothing. We were very close. We couldn't afford to fight because we are what kept each other alive, because we didn't have a nice mother. It was her stepmother, my real mother. But me and my older sister grew up like true sisters, blood sisters. I always say blood didn't make us sisters, but hearts did. And so I always got as close to her as I could get. Well, I would fall asleep on her shoulder, and she would be close to me, and she would lean her head over on my head. And that's how we fell asleep. And so off we would go, and we would go to Kentucky. And that was always the highlight of our year, is getting to go to Aunt Opal's. And because there was always stories told, and there was always things going on, you know, and we got to go to the creek, and it was just so much fun. So I'm going to leave you with the cliffhanger. And my oldest sister always done something to me on that trip. I'm not going to tell you what it is, and I never did get mad at her. But it was something that she did to me that you'll find out next Sunday. So if you haven't already, hit that friend button down below. Come along with me on my journey. Throw that thumb up in the air, and I'll stop along the way and pick you up. Leave me a comment, because I like to talk to my friends. And I like to know what's going on in your life. I like you to know what's going on in mine. So it's been fun. I hope you've had fun, and I love you, and I hope you'll come back next Sunday. Bye.